Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be talking about my hair care routine. I'm going to be actually talking about everything that I do for my hair, pre-wash, during wash, post-wash. So I'm going to be talking about the products that I use, and also I'm going to share some tips and tricks that I've kind of figured out along the way that kind of help to maintain the health of my hair. It's not the best it's ever been, that's for sure, but there are things that I do that are genuinely foolproof and they always work. So I washed my hair today. It's almost like 90% dry. There's just some kind of like moisture that I can feel. Otherwise, it's mostly dry. And this is actually around the time that I'll put on a hair serum. But before I do that, I actually want to put on my facial serum. I'm going to be using the 10% vitamin C serum by the Dermaco. Vitamin C is an antioxidant that kind of helps to even out your skin tone. It helps to kind of lighten up any dark spots that you might have. So generally it helps with pigmentation and also taking care of any free radical damage that you might get because it is an antioxidant. The Dermaco one actually does contain 5% niacinamide and hyaluronic acid as well. So these are usually the three kind of serums that I kind of rotate between. I'll either use a hyaluronic acid one, a niacinamide one, or an antioxidant. Having all of those ingredients in one serum is a really smart choice. And if you feel like the 10% one isn't enough for you, you can also try the 20% vitamin C serum that they have. This one contains ferulic acid and hyaluronic acid. Ferulic acid is another kind of antioxidant, so it's going to be very potent and also a great choice for the mornings. And of course, like anything else, you have to follow these with the sunscreen. I'm using the 1% hyaluronic acid sunscreen gel by the Dermaco again. This is SPF 50 PA+++, and this one contains hyaluronic acid and vitamin E, so that's another antioxidant. So that's why I really like Dermaco products, because you don't just get that one kind of active. They usually will have a blend of other ingredients as well. One thing that I really want to mention is all the new products that they launch are all fragrance free, so they're going to be very good for sensitive skins as well. And also another thing that I really want to mention is that they have kind of collaborated with an NGO called Bhumi, and they kind of help to educate underprivileged children. And Dermaco has pledged to help over 10,000 students this year. So anytime you make a purchase on their website, you kind of help children get education, which is a brilliant initiative. So if you're interested in any of these products and you want to help underprivileged children get education, you can go to their website, which is the dermaco.com, and you can use my code, which is Sharma2022 in all small letters. There's no capitals, and this code will get you a 20% discount on your order. The code will not apply on combos and bundles because they're usually already at discounted prices, so you won't need it. And if not on the website, you can also check out the products on Amazon, Nykaa and Flipkart. Their products are available across all those e-retail platforms as well. And now for the hair. So before I begin talking about my hair care routine and the products and everything, I'll just quickly tell you what my hair is like. It is not straight, it is not curly, it is somewhere in between. Front pieces usually are they just do their own thing. Some pieces kind of look straight, and then there's some bottom pieces here that curl on their own. So when it comes to texture, I have the best of everything. The bottom pieces also kind of tend to be a little frizzy, as you can see. I haven't really done that porosity test, if you guys know what that is. You just put like a strand of hair like in water, and if it completely sinks, it's very porous. So the specific products that you should be using, I haven't really done that. All I know is that the ends of my hair usually will start getting dry and kind of frizzy and feel dead, and my scalp is extremely oily. Like today I've washed my hair, and by tomorrow night, let's say, it'll start looking greasy, and I'm not even joking. It starts looking like I haven't washed my hair in a while and I'm like due for a wash the next day. So my approach with my hair is to keep the ends as hydrated and highly kind of oiled and serumed as possible, and I try to keep my scalp as oil free and clear as possible. So because there is such a contrast in the nature of my scalp and therefore the first few lengths of my hair compared to the ends, I have to kind of treat them very differently. So the most basic things, a shampoo and a conditioner. I usually like to use the same shampoo and conditioner from the same range. So I've been using the Tresemme Smooth and Shine Silk Protein Vitamin H range. I bought it last year when I was doing that Amazon video, and it was a gigantic bottle, and I'm just finishing it now. It's lasted so many months. It's been almost a year actually, and it's not just me who uses it. My mom uses it and my dad uses it, I think. And I'm very aware of the fact that you're actually supposed to kind of switch your shampoos every like 3 to 4 months, but I think I made a mistake in ordering such a gigantic bottle of it. Now that it's over, I'm actually very desperately looking for a new shampoo. So if you have any recommendations for me, I'm very open. If you have a similar scalp type or a similar hair type as me, and you have a shampoo that you really love, I would love to know what you guys use, because I'm genuinely looking for recommendations and I'm running out of options, because other than like Dove and Tresemme and maybe what other brands have I used? I've used L'Oreal, I've used Matrix. These are brands and products that I've used quite a lot. If you have any recommendations, not from these brands, I'm open. And even from these brands, if you have a holy grail and like one shampoo that you've been using for a really long time and you just can't switch it because you love it so much, please, please, please let me know in the comments section down below. I'd love to hear from you. And after the shampoo, so this is actually my first tip. I never ever finish a hair wash session without using a hair mask or a conditioner. This is the conditioner that I've been using. It's from that same range, the Tresemme Smooth and Shine. I really like it. It really does like kind of soften and smoothen the edges out, and I genuinely feel a difference when I don't use any of these products versus when I do use them. I had been using masks for the longest time, and I think one day it just ran out and I never bought it again. And usually the rest of my family just uses conditioners. They're not as like picky choosy as me. They'll just use whatever's available. So I just used this conditioner once, and it actually ended up working in a very similar way as some of the more expensive kind of hair masks that I was using. So I just stopped buying them and I just stuck to the conditioner. So now with your shampoo recommendations, if you have conditioner recommendations as well, I'm open to those as well. And then now at this stage where my hair is about 90% dry, I will put a serum through my hair. Please do not judge what my hair actually looks like right now. This cut is not the most flattering haircut that I've gotten. Actually, the haircut that I like the most for my face shape and my like kind of like hair texture and stuff was the one that I got this year in February. I go to a nearby Gitanjali salon, and I don't usually end up remembering the person who cuts my hair, like their name, I mean. And this time it was a completely new person who cut it. I tried to tell them what I wanted, but I don't like what it looks like right now. So I've waited really long for it to kind of have some length so I can get a haircut again, which actually is one of my tips. I'll get into that later. I'm getting a little too ahead of myself. I'll just put on a serum now. So for serums, even I have a lot of options depending on what my hair is feeling like. So around the monsoon kind of season, when there's too much humidity, I kind of just stick to a serum that is just pure oil, because if I use a serum that has humectants as well. If you guys have watched Friends, and if you remember that episode where they go to Barbados, where Monica comes out looking like she has an afro, talking about how humidity does that to her hair, usually that is what will happen with me. Like my hair will not go like this, but it definitely does fluff up. So this is the serum that I've now again switched back to. This is the Simrasa Luxuries Nourishing Hair Gloss. This is a very popular serum on Instagram. I see a lot of people using it. I bought it a couple of months ago. I think about 7 to 8 months ago now. And this is a great serum to use if you have really just dehydrated, very dry hair, because it does give you just a boost of hydration. And it actually, that's the thing about it, it doesn't feel like oil. It feels like your hair has had like a tall drink of water. So now that we're kind of getting out of that kind of weather, I have started using this again. So this comes with a dropper. I'll probably take like 3 to 5 drops for one side. I will just usually part my hair into sections and apply the serum on each section individually, because that kind of allows me to get to the kind of inner portions of my hair better. And as you can see, I barely go even like 3 inches close to my scalp. I mostly concentrate it on the ends, which is where you're supposed to put it. And that's what this looks like. So immediately when you put it on, your hair might look a little too oily, but nothing to be worried about. It will go down in a few hours as your hair kind of absorbs it. I'll take about this much. For a few hours, it actually will make it look like my hair is wet again, but believe me, it kind of fades in. At least on my hair it does. I feel like any hair care product that I put on that kind of belongs in the serum or post-wash category, my hair tends to kind of drink it up, which tells me that it's kind of dehydrated as well. Mujhe teri mohabbat ka sahara mil gaya hota. So, if not this serum, what else do I use? I am still using the L'Oreal Absolute Repair Oil. So when I was not using the Simrisa one, I was using this, or I was using the L'Oreal Extenso Care. I actually did a video with L'Oreal Extenso, like the whole range, and this is the serum from that. And I did not use it every single time after I washed my hair because this is not like a gigantic bottle, and the reason I still have it is I really like the shine that it leaves, but it's more on the oily side, which is why there's a lot of shine involved with this serum. So when I feel like my hair is doing fine hydration wise, I will kind of use this to kind of just add more shine, and that is the reason I like this formula a lot as well. So I usually will just kind of rotate between these 3 serums, and I've been really liking how they work. So now this was the post-wash routine. Let's come to the pre-wash stuff that I do to kind of make sure that my hair stays healthy. So one thing is, because of the dermatitis issues that I'd been having on my skin since the beginning of this year actually, it would come and go and come and go, and the first time it happened at the end of January, and it stayed till I think the mid of March, which was the longest flare-up I've ever had. It really sucks. It doesn't really hurt, but it itches, your skin flakes, and I tried so many different kinds of medication, topical and oral, and nothing worked. I actually had to in the end just resort to steroids, which is why I think it was just kind of suppressing it, not actually dealing with it, because you can't really deal with dermatitis. If you have it, you have it. You can't really treat it from the root. So I kept having flare-ups, and now is when it's actually just started to calm down, but now I've started getting like these small bumps. So my skin is going through something this year. During one of those doctor's visits when I was having these dermatitis flare-ups, the doctor also very categorically told me that I'm not supposed to use any kind of oils on my scalp or on my face, which is why I only talk about serums and moisturizers and sunscreens and stuff. I never talk about facial oils because I'm not supposed to. Doctors have strictly forbidden me from using any oil on my scalp or on my face. So my pre-wash kind of hair care things that I do never involve putting oils on my scalp, but I do put them on the lengths of my hair. So there are 3 things that I will kind of rotate between using on the lengths of my hair to make sure that it stays hydrated, because again, reminding you, my scalp is not my main issue. It's oily, but shampooing it does solve that issue. The dryness is what kind of bothers me a lot, because your ends kind of just start feeling dead, and I'd gotten really sick of the fact that anytime I'd go to a hairdresser to get like a trim, they would tell me this much length of your hair is dead. I'm sorry, I'm just gonna have to take it all off. So having a couple of those kind of experiences kind of woke me up to the fact that I really need to kind of focus on the ends of my hair and keep them hydrated and like nice and moisturized. So there's 3 things that I rotate between. The first of them is actually using a body lotion on the lengths of my hair. I know it sounds bizarre, I know it sounds crazy, but I actually got this tip from this was not told to me personally. I saw a hairdresser, actually a celebrity hairstylist. Her name is Aanchal Morwani. She goes by Hot Hair Balloon on Instagram. She was actually talking about how she did a whole post dedicated to this kind of routine where she would put like this Vaseline aloe vera body lotion on the lengths of her hair, keep it for like an hour or so, and just wash her hair. And that kind of created like a significant difference in how the lengths of her hair felt. Like you can physically feel if your hair feels healthy or not. And that was kind of fascinating to me. I did not have that specific body lotion, so I just picked one that usually my mom and dad will bring when they bring like things for the house. This is the one that I actually ended up using on my hair. I would just section bits and pieces of my hair. So I would take like sections about this big, take like half a pump or a full pump depending on how much hair you're taking, and just kind of run it through. And because I'm lazy, I didn't do it like an hour before I was supposed to go to like wash my hair. I just did it at night and slept with it on, and my god, the difference that it makes. The first time I did it was around the beginning of this year again. Not this year. Was it this year? It was when I actually started very actively posting makeup looks on Instagram. I would get some comments of people asking me what I do with my hair. In those pics, if you actually notice, I put zero effort in what my hair looks like. I would just leave it open, and my main goal for those photos would be just to make it look remotely presentable, and that's it, because I would spend 2 hours doing that makeup, so I wouldn't really be left with enough energy to actually put in effort for my hair. I would just leave it open, and I had people asking me what I was doing, which kind of told me that this is actually working and it's not just me who feels it. There are other people who kind of agree. I will use this body lotion thing when I feel like my ends are getting really just dry, dehydrated, and the ends, especially this bit, has started feeling kind of dead. This always feels like it revives the hair. It makes it look so healthy, so shiny, and so like lifelike. You will know this if you kind of heat style your hair very often. When you heat style your hair and you see that smoke coming out, it's like just that water kind of evaporating from your hair. Doing this kind of feels like it's infusing that moisture back in. I can't really explain it. You're gonna have to try it for yourself and see. So if you're experimental enough, try this and let me know. Section of your hair, again, please do not put it on your scalp. And if I'm talking in terms of length, leave about this much gap in where you kind of put the product. Start at the start at the ends of your hair, and then just slowly go up like this and stop about 2 to 4 inches away. The next thing that I'll use in a very, very similar way, not like after the lotion but instead of the lotion. So there's 3 things like I mentioned. First is the body lotion. Second is the aloe vera gel. So I have spoken about one aloe vera gel. I can't really find it right now, but again, it doesn't really have to be from one specific brand. Any kind of aloe vera gel that you might have will work, and I use it in a very, very similar way. I'll take a big dollop of it, kind of spread it across my palms and comb my hair through, focus the product especially towards the ends, sleep with it on, and then next day wash my hair. It also creates a major difference. And then the third thing that I use is a mix of oils towards the ends of my hair. So this is not something that I would use like once a month even. This is something that I rarely use. I only use it when I have gotten a haircut, because go to get a haircut done. After they cut your hair, they usually will also heat style it. And the thing is, it is one of the tips that I will mention after I talk about the products. I do not like using heat on my hair unless it's absolutely necessary. Like example, if I'm going somewhere, if I'm supposed to attend an event, using heat is proven to cause a lot of damage to your hair, because I feel like for day-to-day life, I don't think you need that much heat. Once I get that haircut done, and I have like freshly washed, freshly cut hair, I'll take a gap of about 4 days, and then I will mix these 2 oils. The night before, I will mix these 2 and put it all across the lengths of my hair, like I mentioned with the body lotion and the aloe vera gel. So this is the Simrasa serum again. I use these in a 1:1 ratio, And the other oil that I really like for my hair is a grapeseed oil. This is from a brand called All Naturals. I don't really have a specific brand. I just use a grapeseed oil, whichever one is kind of available. I bought this off of Amazon, and on the packaging it actually also mentions that it fights acne, it fights pigmentation, and is oily skin friendly. And it also says that it promotes hair growth and healthy cuticles and nails. So cold pressed oils are actually, if you've used them in your daily life, you'll know that actually very multi-purpose. So you can use this on your face, on your hands, on your cuticles and your scalp as well. But because I'm not allowed to put any oil on my face and my scalp, I just use it on my ends, and it works wonders. I love the mixture of these two all across the length of my hair. And let me tell you, the first time that I actually experimented with these two, like mixing them and applying them all through my hair, it was the shiniest that it's ever been. I'm actually now due for a cut. I've waited long enough for these bits to kind of grow out, because she really like cut even back until here. She cut these pieces really short, and I've waited really long for my hair to kind of grow out so that I can get a cut again. But right now, because of the shreds and everything, I'm not cutting my hair. As soon as the shreds are over, I'm gonna go and get a haircut done, even if it means going a lot shorter than I want to. I don't really want to take away a lot of the length that I have, but yeah, I just don't like how it sits, so I just can't wait to get it done. So now that I've spoken about the post-wash and the pre-wash kind of rituals that I do, I'll speak about the tips and tricks and the habits that I've picked up to kind of maintain the health. And the first of them, I've written all of them down so that I don't forget them. The first one I've written is to not rub my towel on wet hair. You kind of see women doing this with like their towels on wet hair, and that actually creates a lot of damage, because again, reiterating, when your hair is wet, it is very weak, it's very prone to breakage. So when your hair is wet, just squeeze the excess water out and leave it alone, leave it to dry, and then put in all the products and everything that you want to do. But when your hair is soaking wet, do not rub your towel like this. It's gonna create a lot of breakage, and it's gonna make your hair rough and take away all the shine. And the next thing that I've written down is using a conditioner or a hair mask every time. I never skip it, because I know what kind of a difference it creates in my hair. So that is a step that I never ever forget to do. And the third thing is actually something that I've picked up only this year, which is not wearing my hair in a tight ponytail or buns. The thing is, because I've done that all my life, my hair would get oily, I would make a bun that was as tight as possible. I would do this and tuck it with like a clutcher or a hair clip or something. And the thing is, my hair has started getting kind of thin in this bit. I don't know if you've noticed in some other videos that I've done, but I've started losing up quite a bit of hair in this region. And it also might be hormonal, because I have PCOS, and that does cause a lot of hair fall in a lot of women. Ever since I started noticing that, I've tried to be very gentle with my hair. When it gets oily, all I do is I'll just clip like this bit with like a clutcher or something to keep it away from my face. Then the next one that I have for you is to avoid going out with wet hair, because when you go out with wet hair, the pollution and the dust and the dirt and everything is more likely to kind of get stuck to your hair and make it dirty again very quickly. But if you have dirty hair, let's say, and you have an event to go to, I would advise using a dry shampoo, because these are a lazy girl's best friend. Let's say I have an event to go to and I have greasy hair and I don't want to wash it, or I do not have the time to wash it. So it depends on my will or the time. I'll just use a dry shampoo, section off my hair and kind of spray it on every section. I will leave it for about 3 to 5 minutes, and then what I'll do is I'll just take my fingers and do what I call a zhuzh. So this is the Batiste Instant Hair Refresh Dry Shampoo Plus with a hint of color, and the color is Divine Dark. So the reason I get this one all the time, I always have one of these with me, is because usually when you use dry shampoos, they contain like talc and stuff, which is why when you spray them, you kind of see like a white residue, and you have to kind of either brush it out or zhuzh your hair up to kind of get rid of that white residue look. But because this one has a color, it doesn't really do that. So even if I forget to zhuzh up my hair, it doesn't really look weird. I really love the fact that I exist in a time where dry shampoos exist, and that is an option that is available to us. And another tip that I've already mentioned, I don't use heat on my hair unless it's absolutely necessary or I'm like going to an event or something. If I'm just staying at home, I don't use blow dryers to like dry out my hair. I always let it air dry, which is why it looks like a mess. But I would rather have hair that looks like a mess but feels like it has life than hair that just looks fancy but is actually dead. The next tip is again something that I've started getting done very recently. I've started getting regular trims. So until last year, I would only get a trim when I actually felt like my hair had like grown too long and the ends had started getting like split ends and stuff. That is a situation that I don't let kind of happen now. Every 3 or 4 months religiously, I will go and get a haircut done, and that actually makes sure that my hair also kind of feels thicker. I don't know how to explain it. You would imagine that if you let your hair grow out long and don't cut it, it should feel much more like voluminous and longer, but it's actually the contrary. The more often I get my hair cut done, it kind of grows back quicker and it also kind of looks voluminous. And the last tip that I have, I've written in caps, serums. And the thing is, not talking about serums in a way where you just wash your hair and apply it post wash. I actually so like right now I've applied the Simrasa one in front of you. I will wait until tomorrow morning to see what it feels like, because when I applied it, you could see that it actually started looking very oily, and it's already starting to kind of maybe get like absorbed into the hair or something. I don't know exactly what to call it, but that's what it feels like to me. I feel like my hair kind of drinks it up. So by the next morning, if it kind of goes back to what it was like before I put on the serum, I would reapply the serum. So it's not just meant to be used after or before a wash. I will reapply as needed. One tip that I absolutely forgot to mention, if you have to use heat, and like let's say you have an event to go to, a wedding, an engagement, a birthday party, anything that you want to look really fancy at, so you do want to like straighten your hair or curl your hair or get a blow dry, never ever skip a heat protectant. These make so much of a difference in how your hair actually feels after you're done styling your hair. So when I did my hair for my sister's wedding, I kind of just like curled it with like a curling wand. For the wedding, there was again a family event where the entire family was invited, and it was like a big party right after the wedding. I kind of grown to like my hair when it was curled. So I wanted to curl my hair again for that day, which is very unlike me. That was the last time I think I actually took the time to curl my hair. I've not curled my hair since. But even that day I used it, and I remember feeling, so like right now I keep talking about how my hair feels like it has life, it feels healthy. This spray actually kind of maintained that feeling even after heat styling, because I personally can say this without a shadow of a doubt. Whenever I've straightened my hair or gotten it done from like a salon, when I leave, I know it looks nice because I've gotten it styled, but it would feel dead. This prevented my hair from feeling like that. So that is one last tip that I have for you. If you have to use heat styling and you can't really avoid it, please use a heat protectant. I swear it makes a big difference. And now that I've rambled for I think about an hour at this point, so before I leave, I also want to mention quickly again that I am looking for you guys' recommendations for a shampoo and a conditioner or a hair mask. I can pick between these two. So if you have any recommendations for me, and if you have like a similar hair type and scalp type as me, please leave your comments below. I will love to check your products out, and I'd love to know what you guys have been using. And that is it for me. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.